This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. Welcome to our live online class. Some of you who have been following along know that this week we are playing with the Kindest Gnomes bundle, and that is from the 2022 July to December mini catalog. And today we are doing just a little bit of a flip fold, and it's got kind of a peekaboo window. And then we open it up, it does this. So just something a little different, but yet super easy. Hopefully you guys got to check out my card on Monday. That was a big hit. I'm excited to say that lots of people have posted pictures of the cards that they made using that fold with the cascading panels. So welcome again. As I said, my name is Lisa. I'm with Queen Bee Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, which means everything I use is going to be Stampin' Up related and available for purchase in my online store. We're focusing on this bundle this week, and this is today's card. You can see here that the dies that we're using this time, we're going to have to cut out the mushrooms with the dies. Oops, let's flip that over. And then I have a stitched circle and then a straight circle in the middle of this card. And then the circle is the same circle we used to cut the Knight of Navy, is going to cut the hole in the front of the card. Oh, thanks, Nancy, for popping in and saying hello. It will definitely be on replay. Make sure you check it out. I'm using the layering circles dies. These are a must as far as I'm concerned for anybody's little craft stash because they are so useful. I use them for all kinds of things, regardless of what type of card it is or what size of card or whatever you're doing. Circles are a good universal thing that everybody can use. And today, this is the one I'm using. I also want to point out, some of you know and some of you don't, but did you know if you flip over the back of a Stampin' Up die, it will have the part number on it? If you ever have like a loose die and you can't figure out where it came from, flip it over and see if you can find that little number on the back, because that's going to be the part number or the item number out of our Stampin' Up catalog and how you can figure out what it goes to. Lately, I've been having rogue dies flying around my office, and I'll have a stamp set, and like I was missing this one earlier, and like this, oh, and it's not going to, I'm going to make a liar out of me, look. But a lot of ours will have the number on the back side. So here we go. One of the Lighthouse ones does. So there's the item number for where you can find that in our catalog. Hello, welcome everyone. Yes, type in hashtag prize patrol. Make sure you do that. That's your chance to get in on the prize of getting today's card delivered to you in the mail. Since I have one, it's my example, and I'm making another, I'll have two. So one of them I'm going to send out to you guys. So for this card, we're starting out with a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Nothing new there. And then I have a second internal card base that's going to be just a 1/4 inch smaller, around this way. So that means it's a 1/2 inch smaller overall. So since this one was 8.5, this one's going to be 5. Right? So it'll be, no, it's 5 1/4. It's a 1/4 inch smaller. Anyway, these are 4. I'm going to have the measurements on my board. 5 1/4 by 8. That's going to go in the middle. See, I can't remember measurements and talk at the same time. I don't know what's wrong with me. But basically the overall gist, oh, that's what it is, because we don't have the one in the middle. We only have a 1/4 inch there. But when I fold this one in half, my 4 inch by 8 inch piece, I have my little border all the way around as I would normally have. Then I'm going to take and score it at the halfway mark. So I'm going to score it at 2. Okay, and that's going to go there. Man, I'm missing all kinds of supplies. Grab a few things. I don't know where those went. Sorry about that. Stampin' Up had a leaders meeting on Zoom, like right before this was supposed to go live. So once again, I'm disorganized. I thought I was all ahead of schedule because this card was made so long ago, but that's just the way things are. Okay, so I'm scoring this at 2. And then it's going to fold back the other direction. All right, then I'm going to need a piece of designer series paper for the outside of my card. So 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that's going to go on the outside. Okay, now to gather my, or to get my hole to go through to the other side, what I'm going to do is die cut this all the way through. Now there's a couple ways I've done that. I've done it where I just kind of set it on there and put it in the die cutting machine. Obviously you don't want all the pieces in there. And you would run it through like this, and then these 2 pieces in the middle would not be glued together. So then you could pull them apart and you could use the blue circle again for your inner piece. You can glue it just on the outside edge and not in the middle and do that. Or you can glue it all the way down and throw the middle away. It's, you know, whatever you want to do. It is crafting, right? But I'm going to go ahead and glue around the edge. This should work really well with this because it's a plain old circle. Sometimes if it's a different shape or your card's going to get a lot of movement, I don't know, you might want to just set it there so that you can put glue around this circle. So if it was cut with the 2 pieces loose, you could then, you know, pull this off, put adhesive on it and put it back down. And then you would have a nice tight seal all the way around here. Yeah, some people like to glue the edges, sometimes don't. But that's, you know, kind of my thing. I want stamping to be stress-free. I don't want anybody freaked out about it. It's all however you want to do it. It's part of being crafty, and that's all in the fun, right? Okay. Let me grab my die cutting machine. A little too big to put under camera, so I'm going to set it off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and die cut that circle out of the middle. And I'm going a little bit high. It's not necessarily dead middle. And there we go. So now these 2 pieces separate nice and easy. Now, it will pull apart if I like mess with it, but it's not naturally going to fall apart or come apart. So, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. But now we're ready to work on what's going to go in the middle. And so let's do some stamping first. I put the sentiment in the middle. So I'm going to bring in Night of Navy ink because I have Night of Navy cardstock that we're working with. I just had that stamp set, I know, because I showed it to you. Here we go. Oh, and here's some leftover mushrooms. And I've even got some little die cut of the gnomes. This guy's stamped, but I don't think he's going to be enough edges around the outside to cut the circle. Yeah, that's not going to fit. So we'll stamp him again. See, that's why I keep all this stuff together in the case, because I would have totally forgot I had these mushrooms. And look, that's something else we don't have to die cut. Hi, Carrie. I hear your party's this weekend. That's exciting. Figured out what you're going to get, all your freebies. It is celebration. Okay, so doing a tap, tap, tap straight up and down. You kind of want to make sure you're not going to get the edges because those will create a halo, which is kind of an outline around the sentiment, catching the edge of the rubber. And these ones I actually cut off of the designer series paper on the edge, because you know how the designer series paper has the whole thing full of the mushrooms, but they don't all fit. So there's several that'll be like off here on the edge. And that's what I'm using here. Because I don't want to waste any designer series paper, right? If we have these, might as well put them to use. And I kind of like getting the half a tree coming in from the side. To me, it adds a little bit of interest. And this does have a die that cuts it out, and I could do that, but I'm just, I don't know. Old habits die hard sometimes, I guess. And because it's such a simple shape, I don't mind just fussy cutting it out. I could also cut the red one in half and use both red. But I don't know, I kind of like the two colors. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll have half a tree for the next one. Okay, and I did a little goof down here. Somehow I got ink on my fingers, and there is a little goof at the bottom. So I'm going to reach over, and I have this little mono adhesive eraser. And you can't rub too hard because you don't want to like rub a hole through the paper. But because this rubber does have sand inside of it, it will help take off simple boo-boos. And this is for, it's the link to it from Amazon is on my website. If you go to my blog and then the things I recommend under shop, you will see the link to where to find that and the mini magnets and the Chibitronics, all that stuff. I got emailed, asked for, you know, where do I get that? Where do I get that? A lot. So I thought the best way was to create a web page you can always go to, and there will be everything you need. And those are just the things that Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell. Most of what I use is all Stampin' Up! And that's available in my online store, which is also under shop. But, you know, details. Yeah, I like using scraps. I've been actually using the postage stamp punch lately to punch out a bunch of little shapes and then arranging them on the front of a card to use up some scraps that are left over from the designer series paper that just retired, because I can't see throwing it away. Yes, I love the gnomes. I think they are so cute. I've had a couple people go, you know, not my thing. But that's why our catalog's, what, 225 pages? Because within there, something is going to be for everyone. Okay, I need my other one. So this is the card we're working on today. I went ahead and I put adhesive on the back. I'm going to center it in the middle, closed, so it looks like, you know, it as if it was a layer. And my border is going to be even all the way around. And then I'm going to stamp him. We'll do that on a scrap of basic white. Here's a circle, but I bet it's too big. That's okay. Better too big than too small. Oh, these are on that list too, but they're Pendaflex folders. And they have a number on them here, 99849. And I have one of these for each color of cardstock that I have. All my cardstocks and hanging files over there. And then each color has a hanging file, and then that folder is within each one. So pieces I throw away are very small because most of them I can use. But I have to know they're there. You know, when I had them all in one basket, I forgot about them constantly. Because, you know, it was too much bother to dig through all of that. Yeah, big hardship, right? But it was true. I find I use them a whole lot more this way. Okay, so I think this circle might be the same size. Yes. So let's go ahead and take one smaller. That should work. And we'll run that through. And there we go. Ink again. I should bring over my baby wipes, huh? Okay, so yet another little ink spot. This time, let's do something different. See, I don't do this on purpose, but you'd think I did because we always find some creative way to fix it. So I'm going to bring in a stamping sponge. You could also use sponge daubers, but I'm just going to sponge the edge and cover that up. And then they'll never know it was there, right? Also, on that Shop Now section on my website, you want to keep an eye on that because I have been adding tutorials, like written PDF tutorials that you can purchase. You would get 6 tutorials using the same bundle for $10. And it's an instant download. You go on there, you pay your $10. It runs you through, you know, PayPal or whatever it is they're using. And then you'll get a link that will let you go direct downloading right then and there, so you have instant access. The Memento, yes, I did stamp the gnome in Memento. I could have stamped him in Night of Navy. You probably wouldn't have noticed much difference because the Stampin' Up! Inks are also water-based as well as the Memento. That's why we're using Memento ink, because it's water-based or dye-based, because the markers are going to be alcohol-based. So you want to use the reverse, because remember, the whole deal is we want the blends to actually bleed together. And the reason they bleed together is because they're all alcohol-based. If the ink I was stamping in, say StazOn, was alcohol-based, the lines would blur along with our markers. And we don't want that to happen. So Let's go all Christmassy. We have Night of Navy, Shaded Spruce. Let's do Cherry Cobbler. And I've got Ivory and Bronze. We'll do his shoes in bronze and his nose in the ivory. I love the gnomes. And I've seen so many people do cute things with them where they like put them with the mountain air stamps behind it, you know, the big mountains, and put them out camping and really cute little things. Because, you know, I first looked at them thinking, you know, that they were Christmas, and they can be. And we're coloring them Christmas because we're playing Christmas in July. But coloring them in different colors with a different background, they don't have to be Christmas. So this is Shaded Spruce for his little mittens. Go bronze on his feet for his little shoes. Elva, did you make the floating panel card that we did Monday? I thought you might like that one. I know Janet did it. I saw her photos. Who else did the cascading panels? I think it's one of my new favorites because it looks so complicated and it's not. It's really easy. So I started out dark, then came in with the light, and then I'm just doing an extra layer, you know, some small circles over where the two colors touch. I guess we should have got his face too, huh? I love to color, but it's kind of a challenge on camera because I'm not wearing my bifocals. I want to show you guys what a little old lady I am. So it's a little difficult to see, but you know. I don't know why society doesn't let us be proud of being a little old lady. I like being a grandma. Okay. I pulled on the wrong spot on my Stampin' Blends and the top came off. But it goes right back on. Those sorts of things only happen on camera anyway. So if you're not on camera, it shouldn't happen to you, right? Okay. So there's his face. Let's give him blue eyes. Did I show you guys this? I took a set of our Stampin' Dimensionals and I put packing tape over the top and then smoothed it out with my bone folder and peeled off all their little labels at once. And so that left me with this, where now when I want to go use one of my dimensionals, I don't have to peel the backing off of it. I thought it was going to be convenient. I don't know. I'm still undecided. They kind of stick together. I'm not sure I like that. But you'd think it would make it nice and simple that you just peel back this. And this is the backing of another set of dimensionals that were used up. So I should be able to just come in here, plop it down, and there's none of those loose little backings floating all over the place. But I don't know. What do you think? It's kind of sticky. Is it worth it? Sometimes it's fun to see where those little backings end up. They've been all kinds of strange places. Kind of find it humorous. You know, like how'd this end up in the refrigerator? It's like, okay, so now that I have my little guy colored and I have him on his circle and he's matted, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close my card and I'm going to put adhesive just right here because I only want it on the half that's going to open. I don't want any over here or I'm going to seal my card shut. And we don't want to do that. Okay, somebody on Facebook just said Prize Patrol, but I don't know who it is. I need you to go into the little link in the description and tell StreamYard or have Facebook tell StreamYard it's okay for me to see your name because I cannot see it. Yeah, that might work. I saw another tip where somebody said that they couldn't see very well and they wanted to know, like, you know, when they were peeling off the backings, they couldn't see which one still had the backings and which one didn't. So she took a ruler with a pin and drew a line through all of them. So her line, you know, her dimensionals just had a line on them. And then when she had them on the back of her object, the ones that still had the line were obviously ones that needed their back removed. So just depends. Okay, so there's our card. Which one do you like better? I think I kind of like this one. It seemed a little busy to me, and that's why I used one less busy for this card. I don't know. And then this little guy down here is a mushroom, and there's little dies in our set that cut that out. Yikes. Of course, I don't know where mine went. I buried it over here. But this was just cut out of Poppy Parade and then Crumb Cake and some Granny Apple Green. And then I adhered the grass and the stem flat, but then my little mushrooms up on a dimensional. But that's today's card. And of course, you could do this with any shape. We're just doing an inset. So if you want to do this with the mushroom, you could do that. We've got a couple little houses out there in our Christmas sets. You could make a little house in the middle. Lots of fun things. So that was today. Monday, I have a fun project for you. I'm excited about Mondays. I hope I can explain it well on camera. But it's this cute little box. It has a little thing of wine. I don't know if you can see. There's a cutout circle down there that holds it. And then it's got this flip top. So you can see next week we are playing around with the Bottled Happiness bundle. And that's a fun bundle because it's got a punch instead of dies, which makes things quick and easy. And the punch punches out the bottle itself. And then we've got some little inserts and little beads that can go in there and make it 3D, which doesn't mail really well, but it's super cute. So thank you for joining me. I hope I've answered all of the questions. If I missed anything, feel free to PM me. That is what I'm here for. And remember, we are in the middle of celebration. So with a $50 order, you get a free item out of the celebration brochure, and the $30 order with my hostess code, as always, gets you my free PDF. And then if you wanted some PDFs to purchase, they're available on my website. So again, I thank you for being here, and I will see you next Monday when we make our little gift box. Thanks for joining me. Bye.